And you watch the tape after the fact, when the ground game's running wild, it's usually these tight ends making blocks. When the passing game is getting it done, well, they play a role in the air as well. They don't get the headlines like you talked about, but these guys, man, they are cornerstones of their offense.
So here they come now to take over on offense. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL.
And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. It's an option left. He's out near midfield and still going. And he's all the way into enemy territory, officially at the 49. That play good for 17 and a first down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Has him on the quick hitter. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Shotgun snap to Nix. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Complete, it's Ingram. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Stopped on the play by Big Chris Jones.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
They'll throw again. Nix trying for a touchdown here. It's a Denver touchdown. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ball game.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you could go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Will Lutz now on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Broncos will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. Has it at the 11. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. So here come the Chiefs, taking the field for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, someone who, Brock, I think needs less introduction than anyone in the NFL today. It's Patrick Mahomes.
All of us as sports fans, we know those players in the other sports that when we just think of the greatest to ever do it, a skill set that's different than everybody else, immediately a player pops in your mind. And while we have seen GOATs like Tom Brady and Super Bowl winners many times over like Bradshaw, Montana, and Aikman, there's just not many that have ever done it with the flair, the style, and the skill set of Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes got to throw on this first play. Dumps it off to his running back. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Alex Singleton makes the tackle.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Now it's the first carry for Isaiah Pacheco. That's about 5 yards. Alex Singleton makes the tackle. Give it. To bring up a manageable 3rd and 1.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Third down, 1 yard to go. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Man in motion here. Here's a toss to Pacheco. And they're going to get him down just shy of midfield. Still a nice gain, though, up to the 49. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead, well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. A tight end in motion now. 3rd down, it's Mahomes. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
They've come out swinging to contest as they've got it down to the 31. They'll run here on 1st down. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Drew Sanders that time on the stop. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Kate, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Connects with Wiley. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Here's the give on 3rd and short. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Offense staying out there. It's 4th and 1. They'll run it with Pacheco. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. They already got the stop and the turnover on down, so they're just going to decline this penalty. A give now from the gun. And he'll find the space he needs to get this up to the 25-yard line. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Now might be a good spot to remind everybody, about for the 1000th time, how much better athletes these D tackles are today, Kate. A decade or two ago, they just ate up space. Now, they eat up running backs.
And Kansas City going to the dime look on 3rd down. We've got 6 DBs out there. Nix from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
Broncos looking at a punt on 4th down, and Riley Dixon on to handle that. Fair catch called for, and he's got it right near the 30-yard line. No return on that punt. And the Chiefs will get set to go on offense. First and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. That's caught by Hollywood Brown. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Running right is Pacheco. He's contained at the line for no gain. Drew Sanders that time on the stop. Nothing gained or lost on that run, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Sending the tight end in motion left. 3rd and short. Here's Mahomes. He has the first over the middle. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity. And man, did he make an impact play.
1st and 10. Ball set up at the 48. Tight end in motion left. It's the end of the first in this AFC West showdown. Neither side separating much so far. Back to Arrowhead in just a moment. About set for the 2nd quarter. Chiefs football here. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. Pass complete to Wiley. And this goes across midfield and into Broncos territory.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They go play action. It's Mahomes. This one finds Kelsey. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
That's complete. Here's Brown. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They got 24 yards on the play. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Motioning the tight end now. First down throw, Mahomes. And that is caught. It's a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs start to fight back with their first points of this game. It's a Marquise Brown touchdown. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Now Harrison Butker for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chiefs tie this game 7-7. Butker on now to kick this one away. He fields it from the 8. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Denver set to take the field on offense. Their last drive didn't make it very far before they had to punt it away, partner, so hopefully this one has some better legs to it. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. To throw, here's Nix. Escapes the pocket. He's running with it. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further.
What an excellent job there by the defense. Once he gets out on the move, to be able to corral and contain him and not give up any yards. So often a unit can't keep that contained in a play like that. They go for a big gain.
Nix off the play action. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Nix. Hits his running back. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he's brought down after a tremendous effort just to get a couple of yards. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
2nd and 8. And this one's dropped for what would have been a nice gain.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Nick's looking to throw. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
They've got 1st down from the 31. Handoff now from the gun. And he's brought down after taking this to the 26. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
Play action with Nix. Pass caught, 9-yard line. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gain 18 on the previous play.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Motioning one of the tight ends. They'll try and punch it in. And he's going to fight forward and get in. Touchdown! The Broncos take a 2nd quarter lead. He would not be denied that close to the end zone, Brock. I think it might have taken 5 or 6 guys tackling him to keep him from diving across the line for 6.
Certainly a 2nd effort touchdown, no question. The backs who become fan favorites, we've seen it through the generations, and they set the curve for their peers, are the ones who just fight through that stop. It will not be denied of a touchdown.
Extra point try now from Lutz. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Broncos break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Return starts at the 3. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Chiefs are out once again. Their offense led by Patrick Mahomes. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3 and out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
On 1st down, they'll run. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Drew Sanders that time on the stop. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Throwing on 3rd and long. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips, cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll get this one to Brown. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And it'll be 1st down, Kansas City.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Back to the air, Mahomes. Kelsey makes the catch. And he's able to take this one down to the 25.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. With 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Throwing again, Mahomes. As his man, it's DeAndre Hopkins. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And now they have a 1st and goal.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
The shot to the end zone is incomplete.
Yeah, that's one that's going to haunt him. There's just no question about it. A drop touchdown in the end zone. Now comes the mental toughness part of it. You got to flush that play quickly so you can make an impact later.
So the incompletion on 1st, here's 2nd and goal. Again, Mahomes to throw. And they will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs can tie it up in the 2nd after cutting into the lead. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
Butker to try the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chiefs tie things up at 14. Butker on now to kick this one away. He'll take this at the 10. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Broncos back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Drive starts with a quick throw left, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first.
So many cool fundamentals on display right there, Kate. Look the ball in your hands, number one. Don't turn your eyes away from it before it gets to you. And then when you've got that catch secured, snap that head forward and find that space upfield to turn a good play into a great play.
We're to the 2-minute warning from Arrowhead. And it's the Broncos. With it, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. Completed to his running back. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. It sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
Broncos have to hurry here. Clock still running. From the 44 here on 2nd down. Defender does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Bronco. You know. Throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
It's a gain of 4 there, and that'll be good for a Denver first.
You love a huddle? Kate, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
That's incomplete. Trying to set up the screen there.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Nix from the gun. He beams one deep right side. Really pushing the envelope on 2nd down, but the deep shot doesn't work. This one misses the tight end. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
It is such a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the size to cover him. They tried to get it to him in that spot where he could win it, but unfortunately, no connection to be made.
Pass taken in by Sutton. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Will Lutz getting the call on 4th down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. From the right hash, 52 yards out. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And they've taken back the lead.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. Fielded just shy of the end zone. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Chiefs taking over now, real late in this opening half. With the time remaining, we'll see if they can get this into field goal range before halftime. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And they're going to tag a defender with this one.
Pass interference.
So a little too much contact on the part of the defender, and the officials flag him for it. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Dumps it off to his running back.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. Where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
They go play action. It's Mahomes. Throw reeled in by Hopkins. And he's out of bounds just past, looks like, the 40-yard line.
As a quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
3rd and 2, Mahomes to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. They were looking for him again, Brock, and for a moment, we thought he had another catch, but then that contact knocked the football from his hands.
Kind of become a victim of his own early success. Not too different, Kate, than a pass rusher that gets a sack. You know what happens? Got to slide to him, got to chip to him. You get a receiver that gets it going like this, you know more contact and more focus is coming his way.
And he's got this fair catch right along the 12-yard line. So no return on that punt. And the Broncos get set to take over. This offense getting to take the field one more time in the half. Holding just a field goal lead. Probably going to see them play it close to the vest in the time we've got remaining. A little less than 30 seconds to go as they begin this drive. Throwing on 1st down, Nix. The screen pass falls incomplete.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Complete, it's Ingram. And he's brought down for a loss. Timeout taken by Kansas City. It's 2nd. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. They'll try and pick this up on the ground. Past the 25, still on the move. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And the Broncos will have a 1st down. We've reached the midway point of this one, and the visiting Broncos taking a lead into that locker room. Now we'll send you south to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit, but first...
McCole Hardman now on the return. He's got a lane up past the 30. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40. The Chiefs ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And he has to be happy about his game. We're checking some of the highlights right now that he's made so far. A good showing that's seen him in the zone from time to time. And also he's just seen the field well from his spot in the middle of this offense.
Well, that's exactly the way you want to come out of the locker room to begin the 2nd half. And really, Kate, this 3rd phase of the game, the special teams, you just see the boost and the energy they can give to their team when they deliver a nice return to start this 2nd half.
All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Mahomes. Caught, nice gain left side. And he's in for the Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs take the lead right away in half number 2. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you'd think on the other side, defensively, they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
Butker to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chiefs take a 4-point lead. Butker on now to kick this one away. Return starts from the goal line. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Broncos returning their offense and this running back to the field. They find themselves trailing after the opening drive touchdown, and heck, it really set up to be an entertaining second half if they're able to answer here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Lone back gets the handoff. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
Well, Kate, a 2-yard run on 1st down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule. But you're going to have to pick up the pace.
Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They give it to him again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. 1 yard on the run, so just 3 yards across those last 2 carries. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Nix to throw. Dumped off to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 27.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. The Chiefs headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now they'll throw out of the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Travis Kelce, the intended target. And it's going to be 2nd down. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
That's caught in stride by Rice. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. Here's the one back on the handoff. And his short game gets them a new set of downs.
You know, it sure looked like defense had done enough to hold him on that play. But credit that first down to a good initial effort and second effort to keep fighting to go get that extra yard needed.
They're set up at the 35 now. Mahomes on 1st and 10. Hauled in by Rice. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Second and 4. Has him on the quick hitter. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. That one ends up a gain of 6. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Rice, the motion man right. And this one doesn't go far. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
This is one of those real modest gains, Kate, that I like as a call. Yeah, it's just a little more variety to your playbook. Makes that defense wonder. Those guys on the other side of the ball think a little bit. This dude's not just a receiver. He may get in the run game as well.
A 2nd down run by Pacheco. A gain of about 3, so a third of what they needed. 3rd and 6 coming up.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
Third down, it's Mahomes. Complete beyond the marker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one goes for 25 yards. And it'll be first down, Kansas City.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Play action, Mahomes. They get to him, and he loses the football. It's out! And the Broncos corral it. Well, he was fighting off defenders, trying for the extra yards. You want... Might have been what cost it. So just like all touchdowns,
after review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
so the review saves them a turnover. He was already down when the ball came free. Here's a give on 1st and goal. And he pushed for it, but they managed to stop him at the 2. Just 1 yard on the run. Still in good shape, though, with 2nd and goal from the 2.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs now lead by 10. DeAndre Hopkins, the touchdown. You always tell me, Brock, it is a whole different world here. Running routes, working in confined spaces, instead of having that whole field to spread out a defense.
Oh, spot on, Caden. Some players, that's the world they thrive in. Finding windows where windows shouldn't exist and then being ready for the throw to arrive. It happens so fast. Trusting your quarterback to make the right read and get it to you.
His kick is good, for the moment at least, as we've got a flag down on the field. I think they're going to get him for hitting the kicker. So they tag him for roughing the kicker, and now this kickoff's going to come from the 50. Let's see if they loft in and try to stick him deep. Butker on now to kick this one away. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver ready for another offensive possession. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. First and 10 now from the 30. They'll run here from the gun. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. Back-to-back carries here. We'll cobble. There, Leo Chanel able to bring him down. Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. Nix off the play action. Headed out right. Pass complete to... And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
Those little short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter. But they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
Here we go on 4th, Nix. That's cut beyond the marker. One of their biggest plays of the game, and it comes on a 4th down gamble.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams. Kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And he runs this one down to the 22-yard line. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Second and 3. This is hauled in by Ingram. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Right up the gut. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's 2nd and goal. We send a man in motion. Running for it again. And he's in for the touchdown. The Broncos shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
And the Broncos offense isn't leaving the field. Looks like they're going to go for 2. They'll try it on the ground. And he's into the end zone again, so he gets them the touchdown and the 2, and single-handedly shaves 8 points off that lead. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Hardman with a return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. They're going to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. So that brings up 2nd down.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. They get about 4 there, need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. It's Chiefs football trying to carry this lead across the finish line. They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. Throwing is Mahomes. He's on the move. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Kate, the game wasn't on the line with that series, but don't tell the defense because they brought the urgency and juice like it was. Getting the sack, setting up 4th down, well, it picks everybody up on that sideline. And now their offense gets a chance in a 1-score game.
Kansas City sends out its punt team. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. Got 46 on his first punt, and this one's pushing a little more distance. He's got it at the 24. And some nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. Nice 12-yard pickup on the return. And they're going to take over possession. The Broncos running their offense out once again. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended Brock in a touchdown. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. Out Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he'll knife his way through for a pickup of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Play action with Nix. He throws a bullet deep to... That's... Inside the 35-yard line. How about 29? Play partner as they get the chains reset. They... In motion. Now we're on the counter. And he pushed deep into enemy territory with that, down inside the 25. Well, we've talked about this before, Brock. The thinking's simple but effective. We'll stop getting it to this guy when you find a way to stop him, and they have yet to do that today.
You know, there's just certain things up in this booth that I love. I think you could feel it emanating from me. And one of them is when you impose your will, and you don't back away from it. If they can't stop it, run it right at them.
Throwing the out route complete. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Got that chip shot in their back pocket to tie it. A chance at the lead here first, though. 1st and goal. From the red zone now. And he has the catch, gets both feet in. That's a touchdown. The Broncos take a 4th quarter lead. It's a Troy Franklin touchdown. If you're going to complete that one successfully, Brock, you need the perfect throw, just the right touch, and you also need a guy who can go up and get it just like that.
Yeah, need to be able to muscle somebody off the ball if you're not alone. And call me a little biased. Go ahead. I don't care.
You're biased.
But the success of that play does come down to the timing of the throw, Kate. If you don't throw it on time to that exact spot, you run out of room, and you don't give yourself that kind of chance.
What's there to tack on the extra point? And the Broncos take a 4-point lead. Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. Return starts from the goal line. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The home team, Stan Rasheed Rice, ready for a new series on offense. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Off the play fake, it's Mahomes. Flushed out of the pocket. Steps up and he's running with it. And he's brought down after a short gain.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Pressure coming from Mahomes. Flushed down out to his left. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions, you get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on third and very long. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Escapes the pocket. And they're able to drag him down as he reaches the 15-yard line.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
The Chiefs bringing out their punt team. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Averaging a little under 50 a kick so far, Brock, as he gets away another one. He takes this in on his side of midfield. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. 58 yards on the punt there. And it'll be their football. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. They've got a man in motion. Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Can I have a moment, Kate? Just a moment to marvel at how well they reacted to that play on defense. They were all over it from the start, getting behind the line to blow up a play that how many times do we see as highlight reel touchdowns going the other way?
2nd and 12 behind the sticks. Outright, and Ingram makes the grab. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. They send a tight end in motion. Here's the give on 3rd and short. Breaks the tackle, still going. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. He gets 6 on that play, and that'll be good for a Denver first.
Kate, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
He still has room inside the 30. And he's going to get it down to the 18-yard line. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
Even with everything he racked up on that run, you could argue he deserved maybe a little bit more. That call was the perfect one to break for big yards. The only thing that saved the defense from a score was getting that contact to slow him down and eventually, finally, stop him.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Back to the well again. And he'll turn this into a solid gain down to the 14. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a group, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
Out of the gun, it's Nix. And now he's going to head out of bounds after a nice gain. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time.
And he's in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos now lead by 10. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. In baseball, it's 3 strikes and you're out. I know you experienced that a lot, but on the gridiron, you're feeling pretty happy, right? If you can strike the end zone 3 times in one game.
Yeah, I'd rather go hockey and soccer. That's just the positive guy in me. They call that a hat trick. It's worth celebrating.
Look at you.
And yeah, they should celebrate this effort.
Extra point try now from Lutz. Right. It's good. And the Broncos drive their lead to 11. Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. Hardman with a return. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. The Kansas City offense set to take the field. Some good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Finds his man Rice. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They've got 3 timeouts. Warning left for him. We've got 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. Down a couple of scores, but still some time left and 3 timeouts as well. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
That was a situation where he got the time in the pocket he needed. There just wasn't anyone open to throw it to. It got to the point he had 2 choices as that clock is going off in his head. Force a throw and risk a pick, or just get rid of it and cut your losses on the play.
Mahomes trying again here on 2nd and 10. And after all that, he still can't get rid of it. They get there and drop him. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
In a situation like this, you got to be a fixer. I mean, this game is hard, and you get into known passing situations, it gets even more difficult. But when you don't get rid of the ball and you take another sack, you make this 3rd down a near impossibility.
To throw. Has it down close. Touchdown, Kansas City. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Here are the Chiefs facing a massive 2-point try.
The Chiefs will set up for the
Back to throw. And he's got it. That gets him 2 and puts them within a field goal here late. Well, the comeback is proceeding according to plan, Brock. That conversion trims this to a field goal game. Now get that ball back, baby. Get it back.
And you know that special teams coach is down there telling his guys that. Don't come back to these sidelines. Don't come off this field unless you go get me the ball to give this offense yet another opportunity.
Approaching the final minute here, they need to find a way to defy the odds and get this back. And this one's covered by the Broncos hands team. And he's good. on the 45-yard line. The drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Now a give on the counter. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Another carry for him. And he works it down to the 30-yard line. Timeout taken by Kansas City. It's 2nd. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now. Second and 6 coming up here. Here's a give up the middle. And they make the tackle at the 28-yard line. The Chiefs will use their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Setting up for the kneel down on 3rd. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
Here comes Will Lutz, a lot riding on this field goal try. It's 45 yards he'll try to connect from. Kicked well, and this is good! And now their lead will push out beyond the field goal.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them a lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Okay, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are and what they have to defend.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Here he is to throw. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. Brought in inside the 20. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. So the Broncos ride out of here with a win on the road. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Kansas City.